Hello, my fellow humans, and welcome back to another Daily Dice, where we ask the question for a message for you today. Keep in mind that these are general messages, so take what resonates and leave what does not, knowing that as you interact with the channel by liking, commenting, and subscribing, it does allow me an opportunity to connect with your energy and get you out more resonant readings. Also, if you're interested in checking out my podcast, the link is down below in the description, and that is where I go over my own journey. I'm very transparent about the things that I have experienced and the tips and tricks that I've learned along the way. As of now, the current video that is going to be uploaded is talking about how when we make decisions that we're not necessarily happy with, at first we are very upset about that, but then eventually we become accepting of those decisions, and in the end, we do get influenced by those decisions and how that affects all the connections that are around us as well. So that being said, let us go ahead and get into your daily dice and find out what is today's message. Source, what is today's daily dice for my fellow humans? What do they need to know? What would you like to tell them? Source, what is today's daily dice? So we have 6th house, Libra, and Venus. I feel personally, like, you see me shuffle, you see me roll them, you see me throw them out. I feel like 6th house comes out for the daily dice a lot. I just feel like it does. Like, I feel like I'm done with 6th house. Can we just take out 6th house, please? No, it's okay. I'm just saying, it's just maybe there's something about your health that keeps coming up, or the very same people are watching the daily dice, and it's just a constant reminder to pay attention to your health. Especially the health of your relationships here with Libra coming out next to the 6th house. Right? I feel like this is definitely focusing on what kind of relationships do you want. And I feel like you want beautiful relationships in your life. And so now the question is that it's not that you are not worthy of them. That's not what this is. The question literally comes down to, am I being the embodiment of the relationship that I want in my life? Am I showing up to others exactly how I want somebody to show up for me? And even if these people are toxic, or if they're not the ones that are meant to be there, like, how can you show up from a place of self-love and kindness and compassion, and really taking care of yourself and really embodying this inner light so that you can bring balance into these connections, right? And sometimes balance just means literally letting go, saying this is not going to work for me anymore. This is not something that I want to carry on in my life. And that's what's coming through here. But this definitely feels like the health and wellness of your physical relationships. That's what I feel like we're getting at. Right? This is understanding your emotional well-being. This is understanding that, you've been through some toxic stuff in your life. And through that, you have an opportunity to learn the lessons there and to grow and to become exactly who you wanted to become all along. But maybe that's not easy, because maybe holding on to certain relationships feels like it's a necessity or an obligation. And it's those actual very, very same relationships that are keeping you in a state of lack and poverty. Because it's like the label that's been there, okay? Whether that's husband, wife, child, father, mother, grandparent, auntie, uncle, whatever, there's like a label there that feels very obligatory, and it's through that obligation that you're not able to actually see the truth of what's going on. And sometimes we do have to let go of the people who are closest to us because they're not good for our journey, right? We've learned the lessons that we can from them. We've learned that they treated us XYZ, and we learned that we don't want to be treated XYZ. So if we don't want to be treated like that, why continue to invite that person back in? And that's sometimes one of the hardest things to do on the journey, is to let go. But that's what this feels like. Definitely coming back to this place of doing what is best for yourself. That's not selfish. Okay? That is never going to be selfish, is doing what's right for you. Because honestly, if it is selfish, wouldn't you want your neighbor to do the best thing for them? Right? You would want them to make the best decision for them. And you wouldn't consider that selfish. You'd be like, that's the best decision for them, for their journey, for whatever they're doing. I would want them to do that. So that same question applies to if you are willing to look at it from that situation and say, I want you, whoever you is, to make the best decision for your highest path. I want you to make that best decision. If you can do it for someone else, why can you not bring that energy back to self and say that same thing? I want myself to make the best decision for my highest path. Because it's hard. Nothing worth having in life is easy. Okay? And that's really the biggest lesson here. It's like you want love that's reciprocated. You want love that's balanced. You want love that feels good, that makes you feel like, oh my gosh, like I could spend my forever with this person, even if it's just a friend or if it's a soul tribe. It doesn't matter. It's like just knowing that this person has your back and they're going to show up no matter what, right? And I feel like that's exactly what you want. But at the same time, in order to draw that in, you have to really take a look at where you're at right now. Are you being able to be put in a position where you can embody that type of love right now? And if you're not, what can you change? Not what can another person change. What can you change to bring yourself into this position that you want to be in? Right? Because we're the only ones that have control over our own actions and what we have in life. Right? We can't expect another person to become what we expect them to become. Look, we have house 1 on the bottom. Individuality, self-image, and your approach to life. Like, that's it. This comes back to self, okay? And this is that clarification here. This coming back to self. You have to learn what it is that you want and then embody that. Okay, well, they keep telling me this one. So let's get one of these. You obviously had a card. Yep, you had a card that wanted to come out, Source. What was it? Thank you. Alright, let's see what we got going on here. North Node, destined to have. Exactly, this is South Node energy you need to move out of so that you can come into what you're destined to have. This is a profound message coming in here. Okay, the North Node, it's interesting. I just did a reading where I was talking about the North Node, but I will talk about it here real quick, is that the North Node is what we're uncomfortable with. But it's what's best for us on our highest path, on the highest path of our journey. This is what is going to bring us the most fulfillment. This is what's going to bring us the most happiness. This is what's going to bring us into a place of peace, inner peace, right? But this asks us to let go of the things that we find most comfortable in our lives, right? Those things that are hard to let go of. So if this is a labeled relationship, you know, whether it's a spouse, a family member, a friend, it's like you have to really look at, is this actually a healthy connection? And is this something that I could see growing, or is this something that's kept me stagnant for some time? And then what can you change to make a difference in your own life? Because that's really what's being affected here, is your life, not theirs. And yes, their life may be affected by your choice, but you have to remember that sometimes you have to put number 1 first, and that's you. We have Queen Victoria. I would venture to warn against too great of intimacy with artists, as it's very seductive and a little dangerous. Yeah, so there's something that keeps calling you back here. It's very seductive to you. It's again, it keeps calling you back, and it is dangerous. It's something that's not good for you, right? It says, no girl would go to the altar if she knew all. That's a thing. It's like your intuition is telling you something here, but it's almost like I feel like there's some sort of excuse being made for someone here, okay? Like, that's what it feels like. There's some sort of excuse. Oh, that's just the way they are. Like, it's always been that way. Or they're just going through a bad day. But then the minute you have a moment that's very human, they take it out on you. Like you got to think about that. Is it really... Are you really in a place where you can go and commit to a situation as things are right now? And would you let your best friend commit to a situation like this, knowing what you know? That's a question to ask yourself. It says the important thing is not what they think of me, but what I think of them. I cannot make this stuff up. Exactly. Sometimes you have to put yourself first. It is going to affect them. Of course, your decision is going to affect them. But that's not the purpose of it. The purpose is to do what is best for you, because you've been in the position where you've done what was best for them, and that's clearly not working out right now. Okay? So this is what I have for you. If it resonated, hit that thumbs up button down below. I do just want to take a second to thank your guides, your spirit angels, your spirit messengers, Source, and my spirit guides for all coming together and giving us this message. But I am going to go ahead and leave it there and get on out of here. And until next time, stay human. Bye.